Welcome back to OnChain Revolution in our Crypto 101 series. Today's episode is week one, where we dive into the basics, the key terms, and tool setup, and how you start safe. By the end of this episode, you'll understand the core concepts and have your security tool setup done correctly before taking any risk at all. If you skip week one's episode, crypto can get expensive pretty fast. Why week one matters. This episode gives you the foundation, how crypto works, the terms that matter, the exact tool security setup so you don't get wrecked by avoidable mistakes. Most beginners think losses come from bad price calls. In reality, a huge percentage comes from poor setup, fake links, bad custody habits, weak account security, and no risk rules. We're going to start simple and dive into basic crypto concepts. Crypto is digital value recorded on a public ledger, a blockchain, and Bitcoin is the original network asset. Altcoins are other network tokens with different risk profiles. Prices are volatile by design. Volatility is normal and not a bug with altcoins. Let's dive into some key terminology you must know. We'll start with exchange. An exchange is a platform to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies. We move on to wallet, a digital tool to store your cryptocurrencies. Then we jump over to seed phrase, a recovery phrase used to back up and restore a wallet. Then we talk about private key, a security code that allows access to your cryptocurrencies. Let's hit on market cap, the total value of all a cryptocurrency's coins. Then we move to volatility, how much and how quickly prices can change. Let's talk about liquidity, how easily an asset can be bought or sold. And then finally, slippage, the difference between an expected price of a trade and the actual executed price. These are basic terms that you want to get familiar with. And as we move through the weeks, you'll learn new ones. But this is where we'll start. Now let's move on to tool setup for week one. I created a checklist for you guys to make it easy. The first step is create an exchange account. You want to do research and you can decide whatever exchange you like, crypto.com, Coinbase, Binance. There's an app called River if you want to stick with Bitcoin. And like I always say, for beginners, you should really learn Bitcoin first, and then you can move on to altcoins. River has a great UX for beginners. And so we have a referral link in the description if you'd like to use the River app. If not, no problem. Continue your research and decide whatever centralized exchange you'd like to use. Then the next step is set up a crypto wallet. You can set up a crypto wallet through one of those centralized exchanges and you'll have full custody of it. Coinbase offers one, crypto.com offers one. I believe all of them offer a DeFi wallet. But if you want to be completely separated from the branding of a centralized exchange, then you can research something like MetaMask. But at the end of the day, you need to research what wallet is best for you. Then the next step is securing your seed phrase for that wallet. You want to make sure that you write down the seed phrase and store that seed phrase somewhere that only you know where it exists. And this next step is very important because if something were to happen to your seed phrase, your private keys can help you out. So you want to back up your private keys. Then the fifth step is enable your two-factor authentication. This is there to protect you. It's there to keep you safe in case someone has access to your email or another communication tool. This two-factor authentication can protect you. So make sure you enable that ASAP. And the last step is learn basic trading features. So this goes for both the centralized exchange platforms as well as your DeFi wallet, because eventually you'll use your DeFi wallet on platforms like an NFT exchange or a decentralized exchange like Uniswap. You want to know and be comfortable with trading features. Now, the next thing we're going to get into is very important. Let's talk security foundations. Now, this is research backed. The FTC and cybersecurity guidance are very clear. Transactions are often irreversible. If your seed phrase is exposed, your control is completely gone. Phishing, social engineering is the top attack path for scammers. So you got to watch out for those things. So, what can you do to make sure you don't fall victim to those? One of the first things you can do is verify the URL that you're using is legitimate. Bookmark the URLs, websites that you visit frequently so you know where to go to visit them. An NFT exchange, like I mentioned before, or a decentralized exchange. You want to make sure you bookmark those. You want to also ignore support DMs, especially from centralized exchanges or from any support. They wouldn't DM you, they would use an official communication channel to be able to reach out to you. What I always do, even if it is an official communication channel, is I reach out to the official contact information that I find on the actual website to make sure that it was them that reached out to me. The next tip here is never share your codes or your seed phrases. And the last tip is use small amounts to test before sending full transfers. You want to make sure you're protecting yourself there. Okay, so let's get into week one risk rules. No major trading at first. Week one's goal is competence, not profit. Small size only. And you need a written reason of why you are taking that small size for that trade. No impulse entries. That is not how a beginner should start off. So you want to learn in week one, protect, then scale, just like this graphic says. Now, looking forward to week two. So, what you can do is comment when you're done with week one. Comment in the comment section, week one done. Or maybe you're not done and you're stuck. Comment where you're stuck. Maybe you're stuck in the basics area, the terms you don't understand fully. You need some clarification there, or a part of the setup. And then we'll dive into week two where it focuses on chart foundations. We'll make it easy, plain English for you guys. It's one of my favorite parts of the journey. Appreciate you guys for joining us in this episode. Please drop a comment, like I mentioned, and we'll help you guys out if you're stuck at any part. And make sure you smash the like for us for this episode and subscribe to the channel if you like our style and content. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in week two.